Aaron, thanks so much for chatting with me today. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you're doing and how you got to where you are?
Yeah, so my name's Aaron Denney. I graduated from BYU Idaho in the public policy and admin program in was 2022. And so just hit my 4-year mark of graduation. And
Nice.
so that's been pretty fun. So I've officially been in the field for as long as I was in school. That's
That's
my
good.
realization this year.
What was your first job out of college?
My first job, my first full-time job out of college, I was the planner for Jefferson County, which is right next to Idaho, which is right next to BYU, Idaho. And then I did that for about 5 months, and then my the employer that I did my internship with reached out, and they had a full-time opening. So ever since then, I've been doing economic development for the city of Rexburg.
That's nice. So it's actually a little bit unusual for people to get right into work right as they finish their undergraduate. Do you have any tips or secrets of how to make that work?
I think, yeah, I know a few people that it's just really hard, especially like right now. I know a lot of people, like young people, and then people that have been in the field for, 20 years, they're having a hard time. But I mean, for me, what I've noticed, what I attribute at least a lot to my successes, in 2020, summer 2020, I got an internship with the city of Rexburg. And after my internship, they kept me on part time, and I just kept going, even though the pay was like really low. I just kept grinding and putting in, trying to get experience. And so I contributed a lot to my internship and networking and yeah, trying to just build my experience before I graduate.
So what's your plan moving forward? Are you from Rexburg? Like Rexburg's your dream job, or do you have other plans going forward?
I mean, I didn't grow up in Rexburg. A lot of my family's actually from Idaho, and so it's kind of been nice. My grandma just like lives nearby, so that's been a lot of fun. Getting to spend a lot more time with her, even though I grew up in Southern California. So that's been really good. What the future holds, I don't know. I mean, I think eventually I'd like to, you know, deepen my career experience a little more and probably have other opportunities, but I'm pretty happy with what I got right now. It's a good experience.
That's great. Do you have any feelings or opinions about graduate school? When, like, if a student's trying to think, like, should I do graduate school? Should I not? What advice would you give about that?
Graduate school. I haven't done graduate school yet. Um, I've thought about it. I've looked at like some of the schools in Idaho and stuff. And I think if there's I mean, I think there's certain fields that it would make a big difference. Like if I wanted to like pivot and go and try to be like a city manager, that'd be like a big requirement for sure, or at least would help a lot. Um, but I think if you're going somewhere that you really do need that graduate degree, you should get it done. I haven't done it, but right now what I'm doing is getting certified in my profession and my field. So I've been taking classes, and next year I'll take the exam to become a certified economic developer. So I think for at least for local government, that's a big deal. Like getting your CFD, your planner certification if you wanted to be like a planner, or your like your municipal clerk certification, right? And then if you're like in a like a engineer for a city, obviously you're going to want to get and keep up your certifications. So I think um, in that way. And I've noticed a lot of cities too, they'll help pay for certifications or reward you once you get them done. And so I think that's definitely an important option in addition to graduate school.
Is that something you would advise people to try to do while they're still in college, or should they wait until they have a job?
Hmm. I would say, I mean, sometimes the development, like the associations, will have like a college membership price. You can like do it for like $100 a year. And if you can find something like that, like it doesn't hurt to like start building your network. Um, and you might be able to start taking some classes, but usually you have to get like 3, 6 years of experience, before you can like take the exam and stuff. So it could give you an edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is about on the job experience.
Yeah. So like if you want to be like a municipal planner or an economic developer or maybe a clerk certification, you usually have to have so many years before you actually full-time experience before you actually get that designation.
What advice do you have about looking for internships? Because obviously you did yours in Rexburg. I imagine in part that's because it's nearby. Some students maybe want to try to travel or do an online internship or something like that. Like, what advice do you have about that?
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to travel for mine, obviously. Um,
Is it better to try to do it in Rexburg?
I don't know that I haven't really thought about that too much. I mean, I guess it kind of just depends what your goals are. Like, if you're able to kind of figure out what specialty, like let's say just local government, for example, if you know specifically what specialty you already want, then I mean, if you can go to San Antonio or San Diego or something like that and do something like that'll really open up your network, I say go for it. If you're like, I'm kind of interested in local government, but I like don't really know what path or what paths are even in local government, then maybe try to find something nearby the school, Rexburg or Idle Falls, and just try to get a better understanding. I think, like by the time I didn't take the local and state government class till like my last semester. And so I'm like, to me, it was a little boring, but I already had been doing it for like, a year and a half. Like I already had a lot of local government experience. But my takeaway from that was I kind of understand how local government works, and that kind of gave me an idea of what career path I wanted to take once I graduated.
Yeah, that makes sense. So let's pivot a little bit for students who don't know anything about public policy and administration. What's a job like working in economic development for the city of Rexburg?
Yeah, economic development's a lot of fun because you get to like be a super connector, a big networker, and you get to know like everyone, right? You work with realtors, developers, city officials, private citizens, and you're fielding inquiries from companies that maybe want to locate or expand to your municipality. You might be working with local entrepreneurs or helping local businesses expand. You're going to like Chamber of Commerce events and networking, going to ribbon cuttings. And then you might tackle like really big problems. Like right now, kind of industry wide, you see a lot of economic developers trying to tackle the housing shortage or daycare shortages. So you're trying to like tackle these like right wicked problems, like really big complex problems to like figure out, okay, we want to create jobs, but there's things that are blocking us from, getting companies to relocate or expand.
And so broadly, your office is in charge of trying to get new businesses and new people to move to Rexburg.
Yeah, creating jobs, creating wealth, that's through job creation, increasing, like property taxes really, right? So if you get a business to come, then you can reinvest that money in new parks and new amenities and better roads. And it's kind of a cycle. You get to see community grow with new employment, and then that's all that money and that investments put back into the community, and you see, it's an even better place to live.
How much do you have to deal with public members of the public who get mad at you?
Um, I mean, it definitely happens. Some people are really excited about growth, and some people are not excited about growth. And in some ways, economic development, it's a little bit friendlier because you're working more with, the developers and the real estate agents and stuff. the companies. But once you get to the permitting side and the planning and zoning department, starts, maybe this needs to be rezoned, or maybe there's a public comment, then, you might see some people coming on and not being too happy about it.
Yeah. But generally, that's not part of your job.
No, generally not. Yeah, I kind of luck out a little bit. I still get some of it, but not as much.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about while you were at BYU Idaho? Did you ever go to the Career Center?
I did. Yeah.
Was it helpful?
It was, being able to work on my resume, I'd say was one of the biggest things. And helped me build good resume skills that I used after I graduated for sure.
What about classes? Are there classes you wish you had taken or classes you think people should try to avoid?
Hmm. I mean, looking back, I've been asked this a couple times, and I think what it would have been helpful, honestly, at least for economic development. I mean, other city roles would be different, but taking some marketing classes, so or some sales classes, right? You're kind of trying to market or sell your community to prospective businesses. So I think that would have helped a lot, but
Yeah.
not doesn't mean I can't learn it now.
What advice do you have for students about developing relationships with faculty members at BYU Idaho? Like, should they do it? Should they not? How should they go about it?
Hmm. I mean, I think after you graduate, professors can be a good resource and reference. So let's say you're looking at graduate school. I mean, that can make a big difference of what I've been told at least. And then um, working and, professors in some ways are people that can connect you with other alumni, I think. So I've had that happen before, and I've made friends that way. So that's fun.
What about while you were in school? Did you go visit your professors very often?
Not a ton. Yeah, not a ton, but
Yeah, people are different in that regard. Some people do, some people don't. Yeah. Okay. Anything else you would like to share with future students of public policy and administration? Why they should do it, why they shouldn't, or anything else? But BYU Idaho, anything at all?
I'd say one of the biggest skills you can develop while you're in school, like this really is a chance. If you're looking to go into local government, um, take that chance to develop your speaking and communication skills. Um, right, like right now, I'm able to use AI a little bit, and that's been really helpful for like right now. Working on submitting some applications for some different things. But the speaking and being able to convey your thoughts and feelings, that's something I wish I'd developed more. Um, but it while I had the chance in school, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Awesome. Thanks so much, Aaron.
yeah, no problem.
Um, I'm going to stop recording.